are we doing this fine morning? Hello, Speedy. Hello, Darkbreaker. Hello, 8-Bit. How are we? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. We're having our caffeinated Starbucks right now in the blood bag. How are we doing? Happy Sunday. What is everyone's favorite vampire film? 8-Bit, how are you doing? Last day of Ramadan was, what, yesterday, right? Today has been good. My morning has been good. I'll tell you right now, I dropped an entire thing of blood. Yes, OG Dracula, yes. Dracula is great. Bela Lugosi, hell yes. Hello, Don. Good morning, good morning. I am fabulous. I cannot complain, 8-Bit. Cannot complain. I figured since we're talking about vampires today, we might as well look like a vampire today. So, funny thing is, I dropped an entire thing of blood all over my bathroom. I am drooling again because you're delicious. Delicious. It wasn't the virgin's blood, was it, Ra? Oh, yeah, and I basically screamed because I was a fucking bloodbath in my bathroom. You know, I have like a few different jugs of fake blood that I utilize and I mix together. And yeah, I moved my hand a certain way and yeah, I flung the bottle of blood all over the bathroom. Scared the shit out of Heavy. You saw that movie in theaters, Abigail? Abigail's a great movie. Nice evil. Dead Walk. Look at that evil. Nice, nice, nice. Let me see. My evil is today. 485. That's beautiful. What'd you think of Abigail, 8-Bit? Did you like Abigail? Dead Walks 386. Don is 581. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I will say shitballs to that because I was cleaning up at about 10:20. I was cleaning up a massacre in my bathroom because yeah, it was a big jug of blood, like, you know, the big jug. And yeah, I hit it and it went all over my bathroom. I was not impressed. Nice, Hundar. Thank you for that 5-stream streak. I appreciate it. How is everybody's Sunday so far? Evil is quite low. Yes, yes, yes. Does it stain? No. No, it comes off with water, which is nice. However, on skin, it's a little different. I have to wear a couple layers of like makeup underneath to not get it to stain my face, but it still stains my face. Both are low. My goodness gracious, Speedy. Go out there and kick some people in the shins. That'll get it. Or drop Legos around the house and let someone step on them barefoot. Ouch. I think that'll help with your evil. Heavy night last night watched Ghost of Mars. Ghost of Mars. I friggin' love that movie. Love it. Yeah, but we watched Abigail, obviously, in the Discord, and Heavy watched Abigail. He thought it was all right. Yeah, I know. Legos. I am. Super evil. Super evil. But yes, we watched Abigail in the Discord last night. And after Abigail, I was laying down and we watched Ghost of Mars. I fucking love that movie, Ghost of Mars. Such a great movie. And it's so hated, and I don't understand why. Even Ice Cube hates it, and I don't understand. It's a great movie. But yes, my favorite vampire films, I have quite a few. I'd have to say 30 Days of Night is like my top. There's lots of great vampire films. And if you watched my underrated werewolf video over on YouTube, which I still have to work on those commands, Deadwalk. I didn't get a chance to do that yet, but I'm going to do it today after stream. I'm going to work on those commands and put them to mod only, just so it's a bit easier and less cluttered. I just didn't have a chance to do it yesterday. Every time I go to do and make plans to do something, something always comes up. I know. Slacker is right. Slacker is right. I went to the gym for 2 hours. That's what ended up happening, right? And then I forgot about it. Then we had movie night, so I had to walk Loki. Yeah, it was just like, ugh. That one was on me. I kind of sprung it on you. No. It's all good. I love that, though. I love that. I love the fact that yesterday, Deadwalk gave me some great insight to the channel. And I agree with what Deadwalk was, saying. What the fuck is this? So, on that note, I decided wanted to do a few things with the commands, get rid of some stuff, do some other things, you know. Not sure if it helps any, but yeah, it helped me quite a bit. Okay, let's I had to make sure that ad was done on YouTube before we go into our CCOH. I love Ice Cube music and movies. He didn't like it because it's a horror, I guess. No, he didn't. I don't remember his reasoning. I know I read it because I did a CCOH on Ghost of Mars, and I can't remember why he disliked it, but he disliked it. And I thought it was a very well done movie. But yes, I love insight and criticism on the channel on how to make it better, how to make it more, how to make it better for people. I see what I see, right? But I'm not a viewer in my channel. I am actually the creator. So when someone gives me either constructive criticism, some insight, ideas, I love that shit because I'm seeing it through your eyes. Yes, everybody's eyes are different, and what one person's going to see may not see it in the stream, right? But that's why I love input, and I love the fact that you gave me some input and insight, Deadwalk. I really do appreciate it. Who's going to see the new Snow? Not I. I heard that thing flopped. I heard that shit flopped. There is a movie coming out called The Death of Snow White. Of course, I love that shit. I do. And if you know, I like to think about these things, and I try to watch. I watch my VODs on a regular basis. However, the problem is that I'm not a viewer. So when I'm trying to look at things and try to tweak things, I don't know really. I mean, I try to go off of what I like as a viewer, but what I like is a lot different. So. One of the worst ratings on IMDb. Oh, God, I've heard it flopped. I even heard that the producer's son ripped into the wannabe Snow White. Hello, Reaper. How are you? Good morning. Happy Sunday. That is what I heard. But, yeah, no, I won't be seeing it. That thing is just, yeah, ridiculous. Maybe they'll get a clue and stop with this bullshit. I don't know. They shouldn't be exactly Deadwalk. But there is a movie coming out called The Death of Snow White that's later on this year. I'm going to talk more about it in one of my YouTube videos on, I think on Monday or Tuesday, a new video will be dropping on upcoming horror movies that are coming up in April that we're going to discuss. So if you're not a part of my YouTube channel, you may want to go and check that out. Well, a huge issue was they didn't want to use dwarves for the Seven Dwarfs role. I mean, they're dwarves, right? It's a fairy tale. It is fake. It's not real. We're not giving some factual stuff on a bitch named Snow White, right? It's a fairy tale, and fairy tales are fake, fantasy. And that is, I mean, come on. I don't understand why they remake the good movies. Wouldn't it be better to remake flops? I agree with you, Specimen 47 there. I do agree. Hello, Naomi. How are you? I definitely agree that they should stop doing remakes of good movies and actually start remaking some of the very old films as well that, you know, that people won't really see today. It amazes me how many of the young generation won't even watch a movie from the 80s I'm not saying remake some of the classics now, but you can remake another film like The Fly, for example. The original Fly had Vincent Price and it was black and white. It was what, 1958, something like that. And then they remade it, right, into The Fly with Jeff Goldblum and the godfather of body horror, Cronenberg, right? It's like Phantasm is fabulous and Phantasm doesn't need to be touched. Better yet, make a new movie and stop doing remakes. Hell yeah, hell yeah. There's lots of books that can be done into movies, adaptations into movies. There's tons and tons. I friggin' love Phantasm, Mr. Yogi, and I did a deep dive. Was it 2 weekends ago? Yeah, 2 weekends ago, I did a deep dive on Phantasm with the first movie, obviously, but it was ahead of its time. It's a friggin' masterpiece. If anybody does want to check out the previous Coffee Chat of Horrors, where I did deep dive into these movies, they're on my YouTube channel. I have very little faith in Hollywood with anything. Yeah, me too. Like, Hollywood is just, yeah. I love indie films. Indie horror is the best. Watch Phantasm, great movie. It is, Naomi. It really is a great movie. And how Don Coscarelli got inspired by creating Phantasm. If you don't know, he created Phantasm from a nightmare that he had. A few of the things that was in this movie was from his own nightmares, which I thought was pretty cool, because we know Wes Craven did the same thing as well with Nightmare on Elm Street and a few other films. You just finished Thanatomorphos the other day. What'd you think of it? I loved Thanatomorphos. It is a French-Canadian extreme horror, more disturbing. It is a great movie that gives a nice introduction to depression and the spiral of depression and how depression looks on the outside if depression was a disease that you could see on the outside and body rot. It's a great friggin' film. I did a shocking and disturbing review on Thanatomorphos because it could be a very aggressive film for some people. It is not a film that I would recommend just to anybody because it is very hard on the eyes. It is a very effed up movie. Yeah, very engrossing. I really love the metaphor for the depression and the spiral of depression that was around her, right? It's a great movie. Very gory. Body parts, yeah. Necrophilia kind of shit. Hello, Kirby. How are you? Well, thank you very much. Since we're talking about Abigail and vampires today, I kind of figured, why not be a vampire? Snow White movie is getting good earnings here. Yes, I hear is crazy with movie theaters. Minecraft movie here in the Middle East released today because of the holiday after Ramadan. Oh, okay. That's awesome, 8-Bit. That's really interesting that the Snow White movie is doing good over in the Middle East. That's awesome. It's very easy to see the message. Yes, it is. And if you're not one of those people that see the messages, it's still a good friggin' movie, man. It's gory. It's bloody. There's goop. It's just gross. It's a good movie. But I wouldn't recommend it to everybody because not everyone can handle that level of goop and gore. Because it is very goopy. I don't know who else here has seen Thanatomorphos. I doubt many people have unless you talk to me, because Thanatomorphos is a movie that's basically not known. But it's a great film. I can't remember. Is it on 2012? French-Canadian, shocking and disturbing. Yeah, you can watch it on Tubi in the U.S., but you can also check it out on another website, but I don't want to give the name for that website because I just don't want it to get in trouble. But yeah, love movies, and I love deep diving in. So if this is your first time here, I do horror chat on Sundays. It's called Coffee Chat of Horrors. We deep dive into our favorite scary movies. Most of the time, it's underrated horror films, indie horror films, and international horror films. We did an entire month on J-horror, which amazing. We did a month on Spanish horror, French horror, Chinese horror. Let's see, what else did we do this between last year and this season? Ra really unearths the hidden gems. Well, thank you, Deadwalk. And I do hope you check out those werewolf films that I did on my YouTube channel. If you guys didn't check that out, I have an underrated werewolf film with 3 films that I can guarantee most people haven't seen. And if you love werewolf films, then I'm going to highly recommend those 3. Wolfkin is great, but it is in French. So there is subtitles, and you can check that one out on Shudder. Where is another French, but it's in English, so you don't have to have subtitles on. Another really good one. And The Wolf of Snow Hollow. I love The Wolf of Snow Hollow. It is a dark comedy werewolf film. Jim Cummings is the director. He's also an actor in The Wolf of Snow Hollow. And that one flew super low under the radar. Like, it really did. That one, how many people here seen The Wolf of Snow Hollow? Raise of hands. Hi, Donnie. How are you? Because I don't think many people have. I picked up a copy of Itchy the Killer animated movie yesterday for £3. That's awesome, Reaper. I cannot watch dubbed movies. Oh no, Clark. Well, Where isn't dubbed. Where is in English. You have the actress who plays JJ in Criminal Minds. So it's an English film, but based off of more of Paris's or French lore of werewolves. It's called Where. Wolfkin, however, is in French with English subtitles. I shouldn't say American, English subtitles. And The Wolf of Snow Hollow is all English. I believe it's American-made werewolf film. Also, 3 Ghosts in the Shell movies. Nice. I love Ghost in the Shell. Hello, Chloe. How are you? So excited about Monkey and Screamboat. Yeah, I want to see Monkey as well. I definitely do. I have Companion right now on my watch list, and I have My Dead Friend Zoe. I have a screener. I was given a screener for My Dead Friend Zoe, so I have to actually watch it and do a review on it. I always run original language with English subtitles. Don't like dubs. Yeah, I don't like dubs. Dub is really hard to get into unless you really enjoy like the old Japanese kung fu movies, which I do enjoy. So dubbed movies don't bother me so much. Then, but I know people don't like, a lot of people can't seem to wrap their eyes around that, and it just makes them feel uncomfortable watching or trying to read or listen to something that's dubbed. Visually, for some reason, I'm not sure, but I love kung fu movies, and back in the day, old kung fu movies, while badly dubbed. Hello, XO darling, how are you? The monkey was very unique. Nice. That monkey is going to be on my watch list. I want to see it. You recently watched Frankenhooker. Oh, I fucking love Frankenhooker. Love Frankenhooker. I think I want to do that as a summer cosplay. Is Frankenhooker. What's the difference between Count Dracula and regular vampires? Just curious. Count Dracula is an actual person, and depending on the lore that you want to go by, because there's tons of vampire lore. But if you go back to the very original lore, it's actually Greek. Has to do with Apollo, and all of that jazz, and an Italian adventurer who actually is the first vampire. But if you go after Vlad the Impaler, his father was Dracul, right? So he's actually considered a vampire from back in the day. So Vlad the Impaler, there's Vlad Dracul, right? So that was also considered a vampire. Then you have Bram Stoker bringing in his gothic horror vampire with Count Dracula. And then Count Orlok from, 1921, a German silent film. So it just really depended on the lore you want to follow. There's tons of vampire lore. I'm not excited about Until Dawn movie. I'm actually looking forward to the Until Dawn movie, to be honest with you, 8-Bit, because it's different from the video game. It's an adaptation of the video game, but not following the same story of the video game. So I'm interested. I'm intrigued. You're doing good. That's awesome. What about Basket Case? I love Basket Case. Frank Henenlotter films are amazing. So Frank Henenlotter is the director, the creator of Frankenhooker, Basket Case, Brain Damage, and many other nice low-budget freaky horror films, which are awesome. But yeah. I think we're going to dive into CCOH now. If it's your first time here, We do have a disclaimer going into Coffee Chat of Horrors because Coffee Chat of Horrors is a direct deep dive and spoiler into horror movies. So it can get gruesome, it can get graphic, and I spoil the shit out of the movie. So if you haven't seen it, you may want to come back to this video. After I read a little bit about Until Dawn, the movie, it seems like it has potential. I agree, Clark. It's not based off of the game technically. So I liked how they changed things around. I'm all here for it. I'm all here for it. So many good movies you can buy here. Nice. That's awesome. There's a ton of great movies. Mama Ducky is doing good. Ruby sleeps a lot. That's good, Chloe. At least she gets some rest. Although Amazon did well with the Fallout and Max did great with The Last of Us. We will see. And knowing that it doesn't take right after the game, like it's not taking the story from the video game, right? It is a different story, similar kind of feel from the video game, but a different story. If you've never played Until Dawn, I'm going to highly recommend it. There is like a million ways to play that game, and your decisions greatly affect the game, and I love that game. Silent Hill and Resident Evil movies are the worst. Yeah, they're not the greatest. I will say Hollywood does not have a good time when they do adaptations of video games. Look at Doom. Right there. Look at Doom. But they're getting better and better, so we will see. We will see. You're eating 5 meat sticks? Well, I've got my blood bag here, you know. Highly caffeinated espresso barista from Starbucks up in here. I say let's not compare Silent Hill with The Resident. Yeah, I enjoy them regardless, even though they're not the greatest. Yeah, look at Halo. That was terrible. But look at The Division. The Division had its own movie, a short movie. I thought that was done well. Look at the game Dead Rising, right? Dead Rising had two movies made out of it, and I thought they were pretty decent. No, they were not like AAA films, but I thought they were good. Once Bitten is awesome with Jim Carrey. But Netflix didn't succeed with Resident Evil. It took place in the universe, but it wasn't good in my opinion. Yeah. Have you ever seen the episode of Zed Nation? Yes, I've seen Zed Nation, yes. I saw one Dead Rising. It was pleasant enough to fall asleep to. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I love the game Dead Rising. It's one of my favorite games. Dead Rising 3 is my favorite, though, out of the whole franchise of games. 4 is all right. It's 4, they brought Frank back, and that was all right. But I think 3 was better with the mechanics, the crafting, the whole kit and caboodle. All right. During Coffee Chat of Horrors, if you have questions about the movie, please chime in. If you want to, the best thing about this show is it's live horror discussion. So don't be afraid to chime in. I'm going to give you guys some facts about Abigail, behind the scenes, what made this movie so pretty friggin' awesome, my review on it, and an in closing on this. So feel free to talk, ask questions. It's a great time to have a live discussion about a horror. Hello, Ash. How are you? For me, the best Jim Carrey movie is number 23 in The Truman Show. Very good movies. Yeah, I like Jim Carrey. All right, let's get into it. Abigail was fun, Clark.
Like scary movies and coffee.
The following show is based on research on horror movies and what goes on behind the scenes of your favorite scary movies. HORDE Entertainment or ReAnimateHer is not responsible for the macabre and horror that you are about to witness. Viewer discretion is advised.
That sucks, your power went out. That sucks, Ash. Glad it came back on, though. Enjoy your lurk, Hundar. Good day. Good day, my daywalkers. I am ReAnimateHer, your queen of horror, and this is Coffee Chat of Horrors, the only horror show that takes its coffee like it's magic, and that is black. Today's screams come from the warped minds of Stephen Shields and Guy Busick in Abigail. So grab your coffee, sharpen your steaks, and let's sink our teeth into the blood-soaked thriller. Hopefully you guys here have seen Abigail, and I'm not going to ruin the movie for you. But if not, and you want to hear all the good stuff, then you can actually go for it and watch it. Chloe, no, I'm just a vampire today. I'm not cosplaying Morticia, but just a vampire. Okay, so this movie, Abigail, was written by Stephen Shields and Guy Busick. It was directed by Matt Bettinelli-Olphin and Tyler Gillette. The budget for Abigail was $35 million US, and the box office was $42.79 million worldwide. So they made a nice profit off of Abigail. And Abigail was released in 2024, some areas 2023. Depending on where you were in the world as well. But Abigail is a fun, unique point of view from a child vampire. And there was a lot of fun in this movie. A lot of fun, a lot of blood. It was really good. After a group of criminals kidnap the ballerina daughter of a powerful underworld figure, they retreat to an isolated mansion, unaware that they're trapped inside with something far from human. And this is definitely you can tell when they realize that they are trapped and they are screwed. But before we break down anything, before we dive into any details, we're going to have an ad that's going to be happening here on Twitch in about 52 seconds. We won't go into any details because those people that aren't subscribed to the channel will get hit with an ad, and I don't want to hide any information behind a paywall. So we will chit-chat some more, and actually maybe I'll just snooze this ad. We'll snooze this ad, and then we'll do the trailer. So for those of you that haven't seen Abigail, we're going to go check out the trailer. Yep, that was Abigail. And I would agree with you 100% about the trailer, but that's my biggest gripe today with trailers They all show the entire effing movie, and that blows. This is why I don't recommend watching trailers anymore before go seeing a movie. Go in without seeing anything. Yeah, he would disagree. Deadwalk. Yeah, so thank you, Deadwalk, over on the YouTube side of things. You love this film. I agree with you, Jaden, on that. And Quindy, you just don't resonate with vampire or werewolf movies. Okay, I get that. I can wave my wand and fuck everybody up. Yeah, there might be a spell for Art the Clown. Good morning, Rainy. Good morning. You love this movie. It was so good. Creepy as heck. It's a great movie. It was very well done. I mean, okay, yeah, we didn't see anything that was new. Like, we didn't. But I thought it was executed nicely. And no, Chloe, there are no films based on child vampires besides like Salem, but Salem still wasn't a movie based about child vampires. We have children vampires in Interview with the Vampire. We also have that in Near Dark. So we do have children vampires in movies, but nothing directly a child vampire based on a child vampire. She is like the death squad. She is her daddy's killing machine, right? I can appreciate all the blood though. Oh, fuck yes, right? Bloody, bloody, bloody. Well, a kick-ass child vampire was pretty unusual. Yes, it was a different type of view, a different point of view, and we are going to have an ad that's going to happen in about 56 seconds right here on Twitch. Hello, Cole Bounds. You really liked it? That's awesome. By the way, Death by Snoo Snoo, love the name. Welcome to the crypt. Thank you for the follow, as well as Dragoon Power. Welcome to the crypt. Thank you for the follow. My character, one of my characters in Diablo 4, her name is Snoo Snoo. Futurama, like what? Little vampire, but was that? Yeah, well, yeah, those were for kids. This Abigail was not for children, right? But I'm not saying that there is no vampire movies based with children. I'm just saying at this caliber, right, Donnie? The friend I watched with hadn't seen anything prior to going to the cinema, so it was great seeing her face when the vampire was revealed. Yeah. And I will say, I will agree that, you know, the trailer did tell you the entire movie, basically. There are a few parts in the trailer that you don't see, that you don't see in the trailer that you see in the movie, which is nice. But yeah, you can change my lights. Be back, Pickles. My cat is hungry. No worries. Hello, Aaron. How are you? I loved Evil Dead Rising. Yeah, it's a great game. I'm just doing my own music and solid. Oh, nice. Nice, Aaron. That's awesome. It was a great movie. I love the take on the vampire teeth in this film. And I do have some information about the teeth and what they use. They use two different sets. But I do like how they turn when she turns into her vampire, not a whole lot physically changes, unlike we see in like Until Dawn or Vampires by John Carpenter or in 30 Days of Night. Those are all different types of vampires, and the way that they transform from their normal to vampire form, where 30 Days of Night never transformed. They were the same look at that time, right? Okay, we've got an ad break here on Twitch, 1 minute and 24 seconds. My favorite vampire film is John Carpenter Vampires. Those vampires aren't romantic. They smell like death, and they have really bad breath. They do, and they are gross. And yes, I have a collector's edition of John Carpenter's Vampires. I love Vampires. I love that movie. It's good. The one movie with the kid that played Hit Girl. Which movie, Aaron? Kick-Ass? Yeah. Kick-Ass wasn't too bad of a movie. I liked Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass 2 was all right as well. Oh, that's a great one. The original is good because there is a remake of Let the Right One In, and I'm going to tell you to watch the original. Another one of my favorite vampire films is called Thirst. Thirst is an Icelandic vampire film about a 1,000-year-old gay vampire, and it's fucking awesome. I believe the movie was released in 2019. Yeah, ad break over. Back to CCOH. Ad break ends in about 10 seconds. Welcome back. Welcome back from that ad. Don't worry, I didn't do any information. I didn't want you guys to miss out, but we were talking about one of my favorite vampire movies called Thirst from 2019, Icelandic. It's great. Such a fun movie. A lot of penis violence, though. Hello, Victor. You loved Abigail. I watched Last Voyage of the Demeter last night, and Werewolves, not too bad. I loved Werewolves. I loved the take on the mythos in that movie, Werewolves. And Last Voyage of the Demeter was a really good movie. Welcome back from that ad, and welcome back to Coffee Chat of Horrors. We are deep diving into Abigail. So let's break down some of the fascinating details and behind the scenes secrets that make Abigail such a wickedly fun ride. We have for you now, no vampire scenes were filmed until 2 weeks before production wrapped. Talk about last minute bloodbath right there. So they had a lot of time to film. However, when they were filming vampire scenes, they had to be on a specific schedule. So shooting so close to production wrap is pressure, stress, enduring, because these were important scenes of the movie, but they couldn't film them until like last minute. So 2 weeks before production wrapped. Alicia Ware, she played Abigail. She trained in ballet and perfected an American accent for the role. This Irish actress really delivered a chilling performance. Alicia is an Irish actress with a heavy Irish accent, so she had to learn to sound American, and she was not a ballerina before this movie. So she did study and learn ballet, so she did amazing in this movie. When you take that all into account, that one, she has an Irish accent, that she has never spoken an American accent, so she had to learn how to do that. Then she also had to learn how to do ballet. So right there is pretty friggin' amazing. Exactly, the dedication to her role as Abigail, and she did a great job. Her performance was the best performance in this movie. She did a great job of being a vampire and a ballerina at the same time. Usually kids in movies annoy me, but she didn't. No, she wasn't an annoying kid. She was actually pretty cool. And you did feel bad for her in some aspects. But I loved how she portrayed a victim child. And then she's just like, yeah, bitch. Loved that. Oh, she's spooky. Welcome to the crypt. Thank you for the follow. Now, Catherine Newton, she plays Joey. And Catherine Newton, I love her. She is my favorite in Lisa Frankenstein, which we did a CCOH last weekend of Lisa Frankenstein. You can catch that out on my YouTube channel if you want to catch up on that one. But Catherine Newton is also a dancer, and she has this really cool dance scene in Abigail. She choreographed her whole vampire dance sequence herself, and the directors loved it so much that they kept every second in the final cut. And her dance is amazing, like amazing dance. It's when Abigail takes over Joey because she bites her earlier in the movie. She is so cute and fun. How are you? Oh, she's spooky. She loves being recognized from this movie too. Yeah, she does. She did a great job as portraying a child ballerina vampire. I loved her. The garlic scene was hilarious. Oh my God, where she grabs it and sniffs it and she's just like, yeah. I love the fact that when she was on Peter, she grabs his crucifix because he thought maybe the crucifix, and she starts like stabbing him like he was a friggin' pincushion. Yeah, there was some good comedic value in this movie. Not as comedic, dark comedy as Ready or Not, which is Ready or Not is another good movie. And this, the director that did this movie did Ready or Not. But it's a good movie. Oh God, it was great. It was great with her transformation because she didn't change that much. In all honesty, what changed more about her was her coloring underneath her eyes and then those teeth. And I loved how they removed some of the traditional vampire lore, like crucifix and garlic, right? These are things that we've been told that vampires can't stand. So I love when movies change the lore just a little bit. Do you not like Ready or Not? I enjoyed Ready or Not. I thought it was fun. But that dance that she does, Catherine Newton does, is pretty amazing dance. Now we have for you the infamous Abigail's abattoir scene. And this one was another gross, putrid scene. This is the pool that was filled with bodies and how putrid soup. So you got to think about all these bodies in this pool. Goopy turning into like rotting decomposition and just in this water, right? That grotesque sequence featured a real pool filled with 40 corpse dummies, all dressed to look like decaying humans. The production team used all sorts of materials to make the water look putrid. Pure nightmare fuel. And Catherine Newton had to actually jump into that pool. Like, that was rancid. You can just smell it. You can smell what that shit would have been like if that was real. Gross. It was a cool scene, though. You watched it 4 days in a row when it came out. Oh, it's incredible. Okay, good. I really enjoyed Ready or Not. But there, that scene. So Catherine Newton falls into this pool of bodies. And if you've ever seen what water does to a body when the body is dead, the decomposition, the bloating, it just seeps out the fats and the grossness that's in our bodies when we die. And in this pool, there was 40 friggin' bodies. You can just imagine the smell of what that would have smelled like. Decaying flesh inside of a pool. Right? Hello, Vengeance. How are you? No, it was not pretty, but Catherine had to actually go into that, right? So props for her. Yeah. Our next is going to be filming challenges and interesting facts that I found while I was listening to the commentary. So I watched Abigail twice on Saturday. The first one was Abigail with the director's commentary. And I love director commentaries. And then we watched it in the Discord with the HORDE Saturday night. So those who didn't get to see it got to actually see it, so they understand what we're talking about here. So the van scene. All the van scenes were filmed on a soundstage because Dublin summer nights only lasted 4 hours, so it's not ideal for horror lighting. And yes, this was all filmed in Ireland. So having just 4 hours of nighttime in the summer, that's very tricky. So they did have to utilize a soundstage for these scenes. You're doing all right? Slept like shit last night? Oh, well, hopefully you have a relaxing, sleepy Sunday and you can get that rejuvenation on, charge those batteries. Abigail's bedroom was actually the mansion's dining room, and every room except for the kitchen and the cellar belonged in the same house. So they used another house, which the dining room, you wouldn't notice that it was a dining room. So Abigail's bedroom was actually a dining room. And then there is the cellar with the bodies in it. That was from a different house. That was taken from a totally different house. And the same scene with the kitchen. The kitchen was from a totally different house. Hello, Jake. I am fabulous. How are you? One of the hardest scenes to film in Abigail was the eerie dance with Dean's corpse. The longest take was 50 seconds to 1 minute, requiring multiple setups and careful planning due to Ware's limited working hours as a minor. So there's a scene where there's a scene where Sammy comes down, played by Catherine Newton, comes down and she's in the kitchen looking for Dean. And Dean's in the kitchen just sitting there. Well, at least that's what she thought. She comes over and she touches him and his head falls off in her hands. This was the first death in Abigail. And then there's a scene where Abigail takes his body, headless, and she is dancing with it. it was a great scene to film. Very eerie and disturbing to see her dance with a headless corpse. But it was the hardest scene to film. She had limited hours working because she is a minor, and just how the body was heavy and how she had to maneuver things around with all the dancing. I'm having to use my backup Twitter for now because my main Twitter got suspended. Oh, that sucks, Jake. I hope you get it back. Hello, Dante. How are you, Abigail? Don't you think I know what you've done? Yeah, I love when she tells the other guy that he turns into a vampire himself, and he basically tries to control Joey. And then she's right before the stake goes into his heart. She is like, that takes a long time to learn, bitch. Love the makeup today, by the way, Rob. Thank you, Vengeance. Thank you. I figured since we're talking about vampires, might as well kind of look like a vampire. But I hope you're doing good, Dante. Love when the bat flies upside down. Oh, you love it when Boris. Yeah, Boris is adorable. I have never seen the movie. Do they play the Merciful Fate song? You've never seen Abigail? You should see it. It's a great movie. I don't remember what songs they actually played. A lot of ballet. It's a good movie. It's a good movie if you haven't seen it. It's bloody. It's great. Oh, so there's a scene with Alicia Ware. This was her own idea. So in the movie, she is fighting and all that jazz, and there's blood all over the place. She wipes her face with blood and longingly stares at Dean's neck stump. And that small detail made it all more disturbing, in my opinion. And that was her own idea. Her own idea was to wipe that blood on her face. That wasn't part of the script. It wasn't part of the story. She did it, and I thought it went very well. That look she also gives is kind of creepy. Yes. Wait, not Merciful Fate. King Diamond does the song Abigail. Oh, I don't know, Dante, but I'm gonna recommend Abigail to you. Watch it. It's pretty good. Now, there is an infamous art piece here. So, very infamous art piece, and it's on someone's cheek. Okay, so Cloud had to draw multiple dicks for the film so the directors could choose the perfect dick. Yes, really. Yes, really. The penis was originally only in one scene, but the directors loved the idea of Peter unsuccessfully trying to wipe it off. So a blurry VFX version lingers later in the movie. Yeah. And that is quite funny. Can you imagine having to draw all these dicks and then get the approval from the directors on which dick to put on Peter's face? Yeah, poor Peter running around with a giant penis on his face, right? He was trying to wipe it off. Exactly. And he dies pretty brutally. Hello, Zach. How are you, Zach? All right. Now, Abigail herself and her teeth. So there were two sets of teeth utilized in Abigail. And you notice she did not have your traditional two-fang teeth. They are a mouthful of sharp teeth, very reminiscent. There's another vampire film, I can't think of it at this moment, that it reminds me of. I mean, 30 Days of Night as well. But there were two types of vampire teeth used, sharp epoxy fangs and a softer stunt teeth to avoid injuries during the fight choreography. So there's a few times where Abigail is actually fighting against the people, and she's actually chomping down and biting them. So they had to make sure that nobody got hurt with those epoxy fangs. And so there are two different types of teeth in her mouth. They're very, very, very similar in look. So I don't think you'd ever be able to tell the difference. It's just one won't actually rip someone's skin off. But yes, they have fang stand-ins, right? I loved the fangs in this movie. It was an entire mouth of sharp teeth. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the cute two fangers are adorable. However, I really enjoyed this version of Vampire Teeth. And there are any correct answers for best vampire movie other than Lost Boys? Lost Boys is a great movie. Fang doubles. Dan Aykroyd had a penis nose in Nothing But Trouble. The library scene. There's a really cool library scene, and that took 7 days to film. A long battle for just a few minutes of screen time. There's a ginormous fight scene in this library. 7 days to film. And when it comes down to it, it really only gets a few minutes on screen. So I thought that was pretty cool, knowing that it took that long to film that scene. There's a backbend that Weir does as Abigail. And she does this backbend as she's recovering from Frank's attack. That was actually her. There was no CGI. The part where we all said, oh my God, I think my back hurts now and I need a chiropractor. Remember we were all like saying that in the Discord? Yeah. She did that for reals. That was no CGI. That was just her pure talent. And that was such a painful scene. Like I, at my age, I'm like, oh my Lord, I couldn't do that. But that was a creepy scene, and I thought it was very well done. Now, there are Easter eggs and references throughout this whole movie, and we will see if you guys picked some of them. There is a portrait of Tony Le Domas from Ready or Not, can be spotted in the mansion. Co-director Tyler Gillette joked that he's actually a distant ancestor of the Le Domas family. I don't know if anyone picked that out. But if you've not seen Ready or Not, I'm going to recommend Ready or Not. It is a good movie. It's from the same directors here. And there is some nods in Abigail to that film. The film was shot under the working title Dracula's Daughter. Now, there is a movie already out there, an older film called Dracula's Daughter. Not a bad movie at all. But they utilized this working title so nobody would get it to slip out. Because we do know in Hollywood, things happen to where when movies are being worked on and films are being transported, sometimes they get stolen and they get leaked, right? So a lot of movies will name a working title just so they can keep their movie under wraps. Many movies have different working titles. This one was just Dracula's Daughter. Yeah, I couldn't do that at any age. Yeah, me neither, Deadwalk. That was some crazy shit. Abigail's Rolls Royce. Her license plate says BLU 9051. And that is a tribute to Bela Lugosi, the legendary Dracula actor. If you guys did not know that. Also, Frank's line. His line goes, all right, let's kill us a effing vampire. That is a direct nod to George Clooney's, all right, let's go kill us some effing vampires in From Dusk Till Dawn. So there's a few cute little Easter eggs and things in this movie that if you didn't see in your first watch and you watch it again after CCOH, go back and see if you can pick those out in the movie. I've seen Abigail 2 times in one day, so a total of 4 times since it came out. Dusk Till Dawn is great. Amazing movie. I did a CCOH on Dusk Till Dawn. I don't know if I put that one up on my YouTube channel or not, but maybe we'll do another dive into that one because it is a great movie. Now, the word fuck is utilized in this movie about 212 times. Roundabout. I figured that was a fun little factor there. 212 times. In my opinion, Lost Boys was the coolest vamps ever. Lost Boys is fun. Lost Boys is a great movie. Near Dark is just as good. Near Dark was more of a Western. It came out as a non-gothic horror movie, a Western horror movie of its time, vampire film. Near Dark came out around the same time as Lost Boys, but Lost Boys got all the spotlight. And if you haven't seen Near Dark, I'm going to highly recommend Near Dark. It's one of my favorites. Abigail was on Prime Video in Canada. I cannot speak about anywhere else. Can we get more Selma Hayek? Oh, my Lord, right? She's gorgeous. And as you can see here in this picture here, these pictures are made by Reaper 1923. That Abigail poster is very reminiscent of, what movie does that remind you of right there? What movie does that poster remind you of? Hello, Paul. How are you? It is on US. Okay, it is on US Amazon Prime. Perfect. Well, if you don't know, that right there is Fright Night. You got it, Deadwalk. You got it. Fright Night. Very reminiscent of Fright Night. Yeah. I thought that was a pretty cool little thing there. All right. So my thoughts and my rating on Abigail. Overall, I thought Abigail was a very well executed vampire film. While it didn't reinvent the genre, it delivered some solid thrills, blood-soaked sequences, and a fantastic performance by Alicia Ware as Abigail. I loved seeing a vampire movie based on a child vampire in a rated R atmosphere. I thought it was very well done and great. The storyline was awesome. The acting was good. I liked the balance of comedy because it wasn't too comedic. There was a couple of chuckles here and there, but it was more of a serious vampire film than anything. And I love the fact that Abigail was a death dealer. She was an assassin. I thought it was very well done. I love the transformation from normal little girl into killing machine. Just everything about it. So on the Screamometer, I'm giving Abigail a 4 out of 5 limbs. You should definitely go and check it out if you haven't. It didn't need to reinvent it. No, it didn't need to reinvent the genre. It just needed to do what it did, and it did it well. It executed it really well. I agree. Like I said, there was nothing that we haven't seen in this movie that we haven't seen in other vampire films. Right? We've seen children vampires. We've seen vampires turning vampires, vampire fights, yada, yada, yada. But I think they executed this one very well. So definitely go and see it. Now, I'm going to do my outro, and this is just for YouTube, so don't go anywhere because we do a just chatting after that. All right. If you love horror movies with a mix of brutality, dark humor, and eerie elegance, Abigail is definitely worth a watch. It might not be the scariest vampire film out there, but it delivers on the gore, performances, and intense atmosphere. Hi, Chris. How are you? All right, my goals this week, Coffee Chat of Horrors. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this deep dive and you're watching as a VOD, make sure to hit that like, comment down below. What is your favorite vampire film? And subscribe for more horror movie breakdowns. And next Sunday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, we'll be crawling into the twisted and disturbing world of The Girl Next Door from 2007, directed by Gregory Wilson. This one is not for the faint of heart, so prepare yourselves for a deep dive into one of horror's most unsettling films. Until then, keep your steaks sharp and your coffee black, and stay spooky. All right, there we go. We're going to go back to our just chatting scene. Thank you, Deadwalk. Thank you. I've been trying to stay on track. Try to keep CCOH more condensed than just going off the rails like I do about all sorts of horror. I do hope you enjoyed that. I do hope you enjoyed Abigail and our deep dive into Abigail. Your timing was immaculate today. Thank you. Thank you. I can sometimes go off the rails. I know. But we talk about horror, and then someone mentions another horror movie, and then we go on a ramble about that horror movie, and then so forth and so on. Thanks, Crass. Thanks. How are you doing today? If you've missed any of this, you can check it out on my YouTube channel as a VOD. It will have chapters, so you can fly by the shenanigans. Sometimes, I know, I go a little crazy sometimes. Underworld is great. Underworld is great, Naomi. I was thinking, do you guys enjoy... Okay, so I'm almost tempted to change the layout of CCOH, and I would love some input. So you know how we start CCOH? I take the first, 20 minutes or so to sit and chit chat with you guys to let people come in, and then we start the feature. What do you guys think about doing that, but cutting that time down to maybe like 10 to 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and then going into CCOH as the main feature? I want everyone to be able to come in and not miss anything. You know what I mean? Every time I see you, I can't help think of the women in the Dark Deception game. I feel like someone made that character based off of you. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But let's go and take a look. Dark Deception. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yep, she's just missing the black hair. You've been dealing with a horror of your own. Imagine finding yourself on an island full of prehistoric and extinct beasts, hunted and hounded by dinosaurs, forced to survive. Yep. Welcome to Ark. Nice, nice. I have not played Ark, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I know quite a few people who love Ark. Next CCOH, we will be watching The Girl Next Door. That movie is very disturbing, and some of the visuals in this movie are really unsettling and will stick with you. This is based on a true events of what happened. Jack Ketchum wrote a book on it called Evil, and it was turned into the movie The Girl Next Door. Now, there are two movies that came out in 2007 with the same title. Okay, one is a comedy about this pretty girl that lives next door. The other one is not so much. It is a pretty graphic and unsettling movie. We are going to discuss it in depth here next Sunday. We are going to watch it in the Discord. And I'm warning you now that if you're going to watch it, just be pre-warned that it is a very unsettling film. This is a movie that I honestly would only watch once, and that would be it. However, I've seen this movie. I had to rewatch it recently so I can get a feel for CCOH, and then we're going to watch it again in Discord. But honestly, this is a movie that if I wasn't going to talk about it, I would have just watched this movie once. It's quite unsettling. It's quite fucked up. And to know that it's based on true events breaks my friggin' heart. Zombie bears and terrifying. Welcome to 7 Days to Die. Yeah, 7 Days to Die is fun. Vampire in Brooklyn was great. Eddie Murphy, I think he did a good job in Vampire in Brooklyn. I think he did a great job being a vampire. We've got an ad break that's happening. So that ad will end in about 1 minute and 24 seconds. Was it worse than Megan is Missing? See, I didn't. Yeah, I do, because Megan is Missing isn't really based on a true story. So for me, it wasn't. I don't find Megan is Missing as horrible as other people have found Megan is Missing. I find this movie more disturbing because it is real. What gets done in this movie, like, you know that it's based on true events. Seeing what happens in this movie is so unsettling. It literally fucking sticks with you. Megan is Missing was still a little tough. Oh, no, it was still tough. Yeah, 100% Deadwalk. Definitely still tough thinking about that could actually happen. And I can't remember if it was in China or Japan. It actually did happen. There was a girl who was tortured and shoved into a canister. Hello, Jeremiah. How are you? The horror isn't so much the monsters, but the existential dread and pure isolation. Yeah. Well, in The Girl Next Door, it's pretty unsettling. It's pretty fucked up. It is just fucked up. It's unsettling. It sticks with you. It is a movie that will stick with you. I will put it to you that way. You will not get it out of your head. It will live rent-free in your brain. Like Scooby-Doo, watching Scooby-Doo as a child, Scooby-Doo has always taught you that the real monsters are people. And real life is horrific in many instances. And I find that a lot of us love horror because we get that break from reality. We live in a horror every day. Every day. You can get hit by a car, a plane can fall upon you, a pandemic can happen. Anything can happen at any given point in time. and you have no control over it. What goes on in this world today is definitely fucking horrific. Regal! 52 months, woman. And thank you so much for sacrificing your soul for 52 months and using your Prime Gaming on me. I appreciate it. How are you, Reegs? The movie Sinners looks interesting with Michael B. Jordan. Yes, it does, Donnie. Yes, it does. Just don't watch Velma. Yeah, I won't watch that shit. I mean, 99% of serial killers look like normal people. 100%. Real life will always be the true horror movie. 100%. But I think that's why we as humans enjoy watching these horror movies, because it, in all honesty, it is escape from our reality, from whatever is going on. Action movies, comedy, yeah, that gives you a nice little break and it gives you some ha-has. But I think the reason why we really enjoy horror films is because it does scare us on a different level. And it pulls us out of reality where we are watching something so fucking horrific, but we're safe in our own home. I know for myself, watching something as bloody, because I'll get asked all the time, how can you watch a Serbian film? How can you watch Necromantic? That's gross. That's blah, blah, blah. I can watch it because I've seen horrific shit in real life. These movies don't bother me. I enjoy them because it is my reality break. I like them for more of the meanings behind them than anything, but yeah, my reasoning for horror movies is I love the practical effects, the creativity that comes from somebody's brain. You know, Wes Craven, Friday the 13th, any John Carpenter films. You think about the start of where horror started many, many moons ago, but how it just evolved and progressed. And in a time of the 80s where practical effects were booming and people like Tom Savini were utilizing his experience in war in Vietnam, what he's seen being in the military, he utilized those graphics, those visuals in Friday the 13th, in all of the movies that he's worked on. And I it's so visceral and real, but also you're safe in your house kind of deal, you know? I'm glad you're having a great day, Jeremiah. I'm having a fabulous day. I did spill a whole bunch of blood all over my bathroom, and it was a little bit of a bloody massacre. I was trying to get it up before Loki, my white dog, came into the room. Once We're Warriors was a disturbing movie with messed up shit. Yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't know he was in the military. Yes. Oh, future CCOHs, hopefully before the season ends, because Coffee Chat of Horrors is seasonal. We start in the fall, we end for the summer, because I'm a camping gal. I like to be outdoors and camping. So Sundays, I'm usually not around in the summer. So Coffee Chat of Horrors runs on a season schedule. And our next couple of ideas that Reaper and I have created, we are going to deep dive into Tom Savini. We're going to deep dive into Argento, John Carpenter, Wes Craven, things like that. We are going to go into those so we can learn more about some of our favorite people. But yeah, Tom Savini was in the military and utilized what he's seen in Vietnam in his practical effects. Right? He talks about not being able to work on a movie because he was being shipped out. But you've been watching true crime documentaries on YouTube, Riggs. Nice. Ra likes to go camping to terrorize the killers lurking in the woods. Yes, I have a good time. I saw that Walmart carries the Faces of Death movies now. Yeah, they do. Not here in Canada, but in the U.S., yeah, you guys get a lot of good shit in Walmart. We don't. Not at all. Yeah, I love Tom Savini as well. I'll give you a quick little sneak peek into some of the directors and people we are going to discuss. We are going to talk about George Romero. George Romero is going to be a big one. I love Romero films. Such an amazing person and director. We're also going to talk about Rob Zombie. Yes, Rob Zombie. I know some of you don't like his films, but boo fucking who. We're going to talk about Rob Zombie. From being a musician to being a director. We are also going to deep dive into Wes Craven. We're going to talk about Wes and his epicness. We're also going to talk about Dario Argento. If you're not familiar with Dario Argento, he is one of the godfathers of Giallo, which is an Italian horror slasher. Deep Red, Demons, a lot of great films. Tenebrae is one of my favorites. We're also going to talk about Lucio Fulci. Zombie, which a lot of you probably know him from, is Zombie. He's done Demonia. He's done Sodoma's Ghost, just The Beyond. He's done tons and tons of film. Another Giallo. Another one is going to be Mario Bava. Mario Bava has got some really awesome films too. So we're going to be deep diving him. We're going to be deep diving Tom Savini. Let's see, William Castle, one of my friggin' favorite directors from yesteryear. William Castle is known for House on Haunted Hill. He did a lot of work with Vincent Price. Great director of his time. Love his films. And if you haven't seen it, like Macabre, House on Haunted Hill, I Saw What You Did, another one, a good one, 13 Ghosts. So there's a lot of great old films from William Castle. So that is what's coming up in the next couple of Coffee Chat of Horrors. So a lot of work has to be done because I've got to condense a lot of information into an hour and a half. So those streams might be a little bit structured a little bit differently because of how in depth some of these are going to be. Right? Rob Zombie is a good director. I like Rob Zombie. I love true crime as well, Speedy. Saw on Movie Channel, nice. The Vampire in Brooklyn. Is it just me, or a lot of Italian movies they do have a lot of eyeball violence? Opera, yeah, a lot of eyeball violence. His films, man, his music is you're jamming. I love his films. I mean, I didn't care for 31. I thought 31 was kind of lazy. I thought it could have had a lot more potential than it did. House of a Thousand Corpses was beautiful. Devil's Rejects, another beautiful piece. Yeah, I know people say he kind of like stole it from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but what films hasn't, it got inspiration from Texas Chainsaw Massacre? A ton of fucking films have. And a ton of films get inspiration from other films that they've seen, right? Horror directors get inspired from the movies that they watched as kids, and a lot of that inspiration shows in their films. So I think Rob Zombie gets a bad rep, especially in his films. I also know he puts his wife in everything. I mean, she's not that great of an actress. I mean, she's a great person, and she does a great Psycho, but that's really about it. However, he does put her as the main lead in every single one of his films. Salem wasn't bad. I liked Salem. I thought Salem was Rob Zombie's Halloween 3. Good morning, Mischief. Yes, Deadwalk, I would have to agree with you. Richard Brake was really good in 31. I still thought there was more that could happen in 31, even with Richard. I just thought it was I want to say lazy. I don't know. Maybe not lazy is the word, but that's what it seemed like to me. It was just lazy. You like Rob Zombie? I love Rob Zombie films. I enjoyed his Halloween. I know, boo, right? I enjoyed his Halloween though. I enjoyed his take. I didn't really care for some of the things he made Michael do, like eat out of garbage. I didn't like that he turned his mom into a stripper. There was a few things I didn't like, but however, I loved the visceral, raw violence that was Michael, right? He played by Tyler Mane. What the fuck am I thinking? Flipping shifts again. Yeah, that sucks, Mischief. That blows. How was your weekend? You didn't like the second Halloween? Yeah. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I love the blood. I love the violence, Oh, yeah. What's everyone's watch time? We do have a new command in here. Watch time. ! Watch time. And yeah, Reeves has got like 1,200 or something like that watch time. Last night was my only night off. That sucks, Mischief. Nice. Look at you guys in your watch time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your watch time. I appreciate no matter what your watch time is, whether that watch time is 5 minutes or 1,780 hours. I love it. I'm very grateful that you guys take the time out of your day to come in here and watch me. Nice watch times. Woohoo! Over 800, Speedy. I wish sure hers would be more than mine. What's yours, Zach? What's yours? Well, Reegs had to get a job, right? Zach, 1,798 hours. Oh my goodness gracious. Now, if you accounted for Regal from the Mixer days, yeah, she would. Definitely, because Regal was my full-time community manager. She was my main mod for how many years? And then she had to go and get a regular job that actually paid her. So if you think about the way Reegs was here, yeah, her hours would blow away everybody, especially if we were back on Mixer, because by the time we came to Twitch, she already had a full-time job, right? Damn, adulting shit gets in the way. It always gets in the way, man. Always does. 505. Nice. She is a rock star. Back in the day, Reegs was here, man. 2019 was my easiest because I was home on furlough. Yeah. Well, when we met, right? Reegs was like she was my community manager. She was my right hand. Yeah, the hours that Reegs has logged in this stream, yeah, would definitely blow away if we actually had Mixer time. I have a job interview on Tuesday. Ooh, Jeremiah, good luck. Let's send you some juju. Good luck. I finally saw the Monsters movie with Rob Zombie. I thought it was cute. I didn't find it was horrible. It was a good movie. I did fall asleep to it, but I was sick. I did have the flu when I watched it several years back. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I still didn't care for Lily Munster the way she Sherry Moon Zombie the way she portrayed Lily Munster, but is what it is. Hello, Ace. How are you? Good day. But yeah. I thought it was yeah, so we're gonna dive into Rob Zombie. But good luck, Jeremiah, on Tuesday. I hope you get this job. I hope you get it. I understand what it's like to be looking for work. I have been looking for work since I was laid off. So good luck to you. Yeah, she ruined Lily Munster. Yeah, I did not care for her as Lily Munster. There was so many other actresses that could have played Lily Munster in the Monsters. 11 minutes. Thanks, Deadwalk. My sick, like I remember when I was coughing and headache, and oh yeah, I'm glad you're feeling better. We all knew she wasn't going to work as Lily. No, everybody knew she wasn't going to work as Lily. The Monsters film, I did not mind it. No, I didn't mind it. She would have been a better Madeline. 100% Deadwalk. She would have been a better Marilyn than Lily. Yeah, she did. I didn't like her portrayal of Lily Munster. Not at all. It was great seeing Cassandra Peterson in the Munsters. It needed more Cassandra. Yeah, should have called you up to play Lily Munster. Right? I did do a cosplay of Lily Munster. I actually would like to do another one. I also want to do, I'm planning on a couple cosplays for the Bride of Frankenstein. So I'm looking at doing that. I just got to find the actual, the clothing is the hard part for the Bride of Frankenstein. And Lily Munster, I'm looking at getting her dress so I could do a full Lily Munster, because I did a Lily Munster. I have her necklace that she wears. But yes, I didn't like the way she did Lily Munster myself. You've seen House on Haunted Hill, Naomi? The original? House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price is great. And knowing that that skeleton that was in that acid vat was real. And then they remade House on Haunted Hill, which the remake isn't bad. Not at all. They did change some things. They did pay homage to Vincent Price in the remake. But it was well done. Mm-hmm. The remake is decent, definitely decent. What do you guys have planned for the rest of the weekend? I know Sunday is short. I know the weekend is short. I would love a 3-day weekend. I would love Friday to begin the beginning of the weekend, or even Monday. Take off Monday. It would be great. Jeffrey Rush was great. Yes, I would agree with you. I would definitely agree. Some remakes are fine. Others are crappy. I would agree with you. It's not often that you have a remake that is either on par or better than the original. For example, on par, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 with Jessica Biel. That remake was fucking fabulous. Fabulous. Did TCM need a remake? No, but it got one and it was friggin' great. Another remake would have been 13 Ghosts. Did the original 13 Ghosts need a remake? No. However, the 13 Ghost remake with Matthew Lillard was amazing. The visuals of those ghosts were scary as fuck. Relaxing for the rest of the day. Back to work tomorrow. Yeah, ew, boo. Yeah, I hate some remakes. Yeah, I dislike some remakes as well. I'm not a big fan of Friday the 13th, 2009 remake. I'm not a big fan of it. I get it, but I'm not a big fan of it. It was all right. Was it on par? No. Or was it better? No. But it was decent. You enjoyed the 13 Ghost remake? Me too. Shaggy in a horror movie. Watching movies. Nice, Jeremiah. Any specific movies? Someone dared me to do a cosplay of Julie from Return of the Living Dead 3. Nice, Chloe. That's a good one. That is a good cosplay to do. You love the 2000. Yeah, the remake was great. Was it 2009? Was it 2003? I don't know. I always get the years confused. Yeah, I know. I'm not going to watch it unless Mila is there. All others who has made an Ari movie, it has failed. Yeah, I would have to say I like the ones with Mila in them. 100% Riggs. I enjoyed those ones. Yeah. I have planned, let's see, I'm going to clean this up, make sure that the blood didn't stain my face. Then I've got some laundry to do. Then I've got some commands to fix and things like that on the stream. Other than that, take Loki out for a walk and possibly a play date with a friend. Oh, yeah, Friday the 13th. Yeah, Friday the 13th was 2009. I thought you were talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. 13 Ghosts was 1960s version, is on Tubi for anyone who is interested. Nice, Mischief. Nice. Yeah, I will continue to always love 2002 Resident Evil franchise. Watching 13 Ghost remake and watching Jurassic Park movies. Right on, Jeremiah. Sounds like a good time. I felt like Jason in that one was even more terrifying, especially the way he ran. Derek Mears did a good Jason Voorhees. Yes, he did. I would agree with you. Derek Mears is a giant guy, a really nice guy. I think he did a good job as Jason Voorhees. And what I love about Jason so much is that so many people have played Jason. They've all brought a unique aspect to Jason. And I think that's pretty cool. One movie I thought was fair, that was 2018 Halloween. Yeah, that was shit. I love the Night of the Living Dead remake. Oh, yeah, with Tony Todd and in color, for sure. I don't like any of the new universe Halloweens, because that's what I call them, the new universe. I don't consider them part of the chapters in the Halloween franchise. I consider them the new universe. Just like Marvel and DC have their universe, that is what I look at Halloween 2018, Halloween Ends, and Halloween Kills. I think that trilogy there is in its own universe. I will say Halloween Kills was the best out of them. Ends was horrific. What a horrific piece of shit. It was Christine, literally Christine, skinned as a Halloween movie with Michael. You just can't kill the boogeyman. Even for their own universe, they are still nopes. Oh, 100%. But a lot agree. Sure, hell beats Ends. Yeah. I like I said, I really didn't care for any of the new Halloween universe. Mummy? The Mummy is good. And The Mummy is a remake of The Mummy, right? But The Mummy was good. I love Brendan Fraser. All right. We have 4 minutes left. Yeah, killing Michael made me... They didn't kill Michael. I mean, you can't kill the boogeyman. You just can't. It's like killing Jason Voorhees. You just can't. Who they hell ties Myers to a car can see luring him into the junkyard, but shit, yeah. I thought... Ends was horrific. I think Ends was the worst one out of all of them, to be honest with you. Mischief, thank you for sacrificing the soul of Donnie Undead to the Horde. Thank you, Mischief. Mwah. John Wick can kill the boogeyman. Well, he can kill the Russian boogeyman, right? Mischief, my goodness gracious. Thank you, Mischief, for sacrificing the soul of Neo. Thank you. Mischief Maker. I appreciate the gifted subs. We don't need to put the gifted out there more than once. But yes. Yes, Mischief Maker is amazing. She only has like 1 day off this week, and that was yesterday. No, you can't kill evil. Remember what part 6 said about it? Yeah, even another flop. Yeah, well, you can't kill evil. You can't. And in the new universe, they do. That's why I can't count the new Halloween trilogy as part of the same universe. They're not part of the same universe. They're not a part of the original chapters of Halloween. Even though they tried their best to remake it and redo it, they failed. Now, like I said, I utilize that as a totally different fucking universe. I don't even add it into the chapters. Have you seen some fun this week? Have to have some fun this weekend. I feel you. I appreciate it. I gave up hope on the Halloween movies because the movie where Michael Myers gets owned by a rapper, that was it for me. You know what? I didn't mind that Halloween. I actually enjoy the chapters of Halloween. Some of them are pretty but they're still fun to watch. And I did like H2O. Busta Rhymes, yeah. Resurrection, right? That's so funny. All right, guys, we are about that time. And that means we are ending for the day. I do want to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you for coming over here and hanging out with me on your Sunday morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are in the world. I appreciate you taking out the time to having chit-chats and conversations with me and talking and discussing Abigail from 2024. If you have yet to see Abigail, please go and see it. It is a fun, wild wide of a vampire movie. You have an amazing afternoon, Mischief Maker. Thank you for being here, Deadwalk. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for everyone for being here. We are live Monday morning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. We are diving back into Days Gone. I might even be in a cosplay on Monday. We will see if I can get it to work. Hi, Stay Tappin'. Thank you guys so very, very much for all of the love. Mischief Maker, thank you for going on a mass sacrificing spree here and sacrificing Neo Slayer and Donnie the Undead. Regal, thank you for sacrificing your soul for 52 months. I appreciate the follows today as well, new members of the Horde. And Handar, thank you for your stream streak. I know you're probably sleeping because you've got work. Sarah of Schizo Cosplay. There's a possibility, Deadwalk. We're going to see what I can come up with. I'd like to bring back more. Yes, you want to see my necklace? Yes, this is my lovely teeth necklace. It's a beautiful necklace. I don't get to wear it as often. And when I do wear it out, people look at me funny, but I don't give a fuck. Thank you. Thank you, Stay Tappin'. All right, guys, I love your guts. I will slash yous all later, and I will see you guys Monday morning. Mwah. Have a great rest of your weekend. Blood, where's Loki? All over my bathroom floor. I spilled fake blood all over it. Thankfully, he didn't get in there.